Welcome to topic number 3. This is telecommunication tower legs splice connection, and also we have to create the splice connection comes in between is if the two members joining face to face and we want to connect them, and these two will use is a splice, or the macro will use is a splice. And if you take a look on this on our screen here, you can see this member is just one, and there's no point where let's see it's jointed into there's no joint at all unless we create one here. So since I had explained on our previous topic number 2 that up to 30 our the tower is divided into sections that stretch into height of 666 meters. So from this we want to create the 66 meter height here. So there's one thing I want to correct here. Initially we had done this at 6 meters, which is correct. So we want just to redo this. And once I've selected that point, I'm going to deselect it and right click and come to special copy here and click on linear. So once I've clicked on that, I'll be able to come to x-axis and click 6 meters. But this time I'll just key in one. We'll move a little bit faster and click on that. So we'll find it somewhere here, as we had done on the part 2. So in here, it is 6 meters. So I want to retain my height as a constant with a constant of 6 meters. So with the gap also with this a 10 millimeter gap included. So I'm going to select this point. The initial ones I had gotten rid of because we were not getting the actual 6 meters. We are getting less 10 millimeters. So I'm going to add that 10 millimeter so that when we split it, we'll have a 6 meter length of our steel. So I've selected this point. So I'm going to press Control and deselect that member. I'm going to right click and come to special copy and click linear. So if I click on linear, you'll be able to see on the x-axis where we intend to populate this point is 6 meters. So on the 6 meters, I'm going to add 10 millimeter for the gap. So I'll give it 10 millimeter. So we need 6 or 5 of this. We copy it upward. I'll click copy. So if I right click that, I'll be able to have that. So once I've done so, I'm going now to start splitting into two this member into different sections that will be able to detail it or manipulate it or give it add some more details without affecting the whole member. So I'll come to edit and come to split. Then I'm going to select the member I want to split into two. I'm going to split it on that spot, select that member and selecting that spot. So if I right click and come to interrupt and left click here and press delete on my keyboard, you'll find this member is separate. It has been separated from that. So in this case, if I double click on it and if I come here and be able to change it to a different profile, and it will not affect the top one. So let me just move faster because you've just eaten some time. So I don't want to take so much time. So I'll come here, I'll right click and interrupt. I want to get out of that. So I'll close this. So I'll just give some time for it to disappear. So I'll go ahead here and press middle button and drag and move close, and I want to split it from that spot. I'll come to split and select on that and select on that, and the split, that one has been removed. So if I press middle button and move up and down, you'll be able to drag or pan. So I'm going to snap on those spots. So I'm going to hold my middle button and move down to see the points that I had created. I'm going to snap on that spot and split on that spot. So if I drag it like that, I'll be able to narrow down on these points that I had created and click on that. So if I move, I think probably this could be the last one that defines the 30 meters high, and I'm going to create a gap there. So this one is still remaining, and I can create another one there. So let me check if there's one here, and I think there's none. And if I zoom out, I'll be able now to go back and start removing those gaps that I had created. So even though I have not removed them, I can just show you that we have our 6 meters defined, and that one has been removed. Let me just come up here and check if we've removed this gap here. have that gap taken care of. And let me just move up here, just zoom out, and if I pick on that, left click, or by left clicking, select, just left click and press the delete button on the keyboard. So let me just zoom out and bring this closer and select on it and press delete, then zoom out. This is how you can create your towers in technical structures if you don't have the plugins. But this is the most accurate way of creating the tower. So you see, if I select on this member, you can select this member, you can see it is separate from the other one. So you can see this is 6 meters and this is 6 meters. So it is 6 meters that way. So this one 6 meters plus this one here. So in this particular case, I'm going to begin splicing or creating splice connection. So I'll come here and applications and component here and just key in 175. 175 will bring us this tool here. So this tool here, I'm going to create my splice connection by clicking the two components and give some time to process that information or process that request. So once I've done so, I'm going to double click on it. So once I've double clicked on it, I'll be able to have that editor dialog box or property dialog box of this particular splice connection. This is L splice. So in here we have all these details. The gap here, you see, the moment I create that connection, that gap has been taken out or has been reset to its original. So I have to define it, I have to add it there. So I'm going to click modify. So if I click modify, we'll get back our gap in place. So that aside, let me just drag it aside and come to press Control R. So if I press Control R, then it turns to apply sign, pick your rotation point, left click and hold, and you'll be able to rotate that. So inside here, we need an L profile so that when you bolt this together, the two members will be sandwiched inside the two splices. So I'll come to this. I'll come to parts. So I have to check this that I need that. Once I've checked that, once I've checked on that, I'll be able to click modify. If I click modify, I'll be able to have it inside there. So let me just come here and click modify. So that instruction has not been translated because there's a disjointed communication between this and this. So to bring that communication back or to bring that link back, I'll have to double click on this member, on the joint, then come here and check on this. I need that AL profile, and that will be presented there. So we have all the resets here. You can pick the size of profile here by clicking on that button, and that will take you to a huge dialog box there, and you'll be able to pick your profile. And that's how you go about that. And there are so many details which are self-explanatory, and most of the time you'll key in all this. And if you need the bolts, first of all you pick the bolt standard. Like in my case, I normally use 8.8 XOX, but fortunately enough don't waste so much time, I normally save my presets here. So this is my preset. So if I click load, I'll be able to have my presets in place, and I normally like to share what I've had previously used or keyed in. You can always apply that. If I come to parts, you can see the instruction that I had given before is there, and on the picture you can see I had keyed that, and I don't want this 00 is this gap at the end here, so I had preferred that to be left at 0. So once I had loaded that, and if I click apply, I'll be able to apply my preset connection here. So let me just come to view and I come to rotate, and I'll be able to rotate this, and you can see my splice is in place. If I right click and come to interrupt, I'll walk out of that splice connection like that. So I'll continue by applying the splice connection all the way up by selecting it and zooming close, and I'll select this member and that member, and the splice connection will be created. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it a default connection so that when I come back and start creating connections there, I'll be able now to do it without coming back and reset it. Let me load that and click modify and click apply and give it an OK. So that's how you create your splice connection. So if I come here and let me just activate that and click on that, and the connection has been created, and I come here and click on that, connection has been created. So this stretch all the way to upward, the legs size are the same. Then from the 30 meters high is when the legs will start to change. So let me just create connection there until we get to that spot. So this is how we go about it, and I would like you to try that by yourself. And what I'm going to do is just to move to a different topic, and on the next topic I'll show you how we can we'll discuss that on the next topic. And let's meet then. Bye bye. Don't forget to save your work by clicking save, and let's meet then. Bye bye. Let me first of all minimize that, and let's meet then.